What's up guys, Techmaster back with another video. So Apple just added a new computer to their lineup called the MacBook Neo. It is very thin, it's cheaper at $599, which is actually an excellent price, and it's got, a bunch of new, color changes and, just different designs. So let's go through it. So the colors, there's tons of different colors. There's yellow, pink, blue, and it looks kind of like a MacBook Air, not quite the same, but different things. So we have a really good battery life, 16 hours. Not as good as a MacBook Air, unfortunately, but keep in mind this is a cheaper MacBook. It's $600, so cheapest by far they've made. We have a really good display for the most part, liquid retina display, 13 inches, all that kind of thing. We have the A18 Pro chip in here, so we don't have an M series chip, but obviously if this is not really some crazy like MacBook. Like this is the entry level computer, brand new, that kind of thing. So again, not too bad. Performance, we have the A18 Pro chip, as I said, but again, you do not necessarily need an M series chip. If you were literally doing schoolwork, the A18 Pro is going to be more than fine. Like you do not need an M series chip for notebooks or for schoolwork. Like you will not need an M4 or M5 chip performance to do schoolwork specifically. And keep in mind, this Mac still does have Apple Intelligence, so you're not going to be missing on any of the, it really like flashy new features or anything like that. So comparably to, and the M5 MacBook Air is obviously just released. So we have a lot of new Macs. Like literally, they've just added 8 more Macs to their lineup in just like the last 2 days, which is crazy to think about. So we have the M5 MacBook Air, we have, the M5 MacBook Pro has been out for a little bit. They did raise the price of it, and then we have the M4 Pro models and that kind of thing. But yeah, so on the front, compared to the, MacBook Air, the M5, we have 13-inch liquid retina display, A18 Pro chip. We have less cores, less storage and, memory. One downside of this MacBook Neo is the 8 gigabytes unified memory. Like, they should not be including this. This is kind of like Chromebook specs, so just expect that it will slow down, and, it's going to be kind of shitty for the most part in terms of the RAM, because, that's just not very good in 2026 by any means. The display is actually not too bad. We don't have P3 wide color, though, or True Tone. We have 500 nits brightness. This thing is pretty light, I believe. Yeah, it's just as light as MacBook Air, basically. We don't have MagSafe, though, I believe. Do we? I don't know, actually. Wait, 2 Thunderbolt USB-C ports. I don't know, actually. Let me look at the tech specs. I actually don't know, to be honest, if this has MagSafe or not. I'm not really sure, to be honest. Yeah, it doesn't actually have MagSafe. Interesting. Let me go to the MacBook Air. The MacBook Air definitely should have it. Tech specs. Sorry, I'm just looking through that because this is a new computer, obviously. So, yeah, so this one actually doesn't have MagSafe, so interesting. But overall, from the first impressions of this computer, it's definitely got a ton of cons, but on the other hand, this is very cheap. So if you want, like, compared to a Chromebook, this thing is going to blow the freaking Chromebook's ass out of here. Like, for the specs, it's not the best, but for the performance and, battery life and all that, like, compared to regular, Chromebooks with these same specs, it's far better. So I wouldn't say this is not good if you're going to just get a regular, if you want a better Mac, the MacBook Air is clearly better. But if you, if you don't care as much about the highest end specs, then it'll be fine, I'd say. So overall, yeah, welcome to the club, to this new MacBook Neo. And we're going to see how this turns out and how well it sells, all right? So see you guys in the next one.